What have you seen from the Spartan defense from early film breakdown?
Yeah, when you turn the tape on and you look at who they've played, they've played three high level offenses here in the recent weeks. They've played Ohio State and Indiana back-to-back games. I had a bye week, played Illinois last week, so they've seen some teams that can put points up. You look at them up front. I think their defense starts up front. They play extremely hard up front. They're stout up front. Got two new secondary players in the Illinois game, and so obviously they're trying to get those guys up to speed, so to speak. But I think when you look at them, they're physical. They run to the ball. They play extremely hard, and I think they're extremely well coached.
Is there anything you've seen up front the last 3 weeks that's kind of kept the run game from really getting going like we saw against Oregon and Illinois?
Yeah, I think so much of it is like just matchups. I think from a holistic standpoint, and then just making sure that we get ourselves in the right play call for the front. And so I think when you look at the last 2 weeks and you look at the two defensive lines that we've played, some of it certainly has to do with those guys. Some of it has to do with us just making sure we're putting our guys in the best possible position to be successful. And so, for us, we got behind the board a little bit, started chasing the score some early, and then I think it's a combination of factors in all honesty, but it's a little bit of the two defensive lines that we've seen the last two games out are certainly really, really good. You're looking at top 5 defensive lines. Guys that are going to play on Sundays on that group, and then you look at just making sure we're getting ourselves in the best possible position to be successful.
When you do play those top 5 D lines, what can you do to kind of negate their talent up front?
Well, so I think so much of it is just getting in the right call, whether it's formationally, whether it's trying to get a numbers advantage using motions and shifts, and then are we maximizing the matchups that we thought we would be able to maximize when we get into that game plan mode. And so just being able to access those in real time is going to continue to be important for us, as we get to these last two games.
I think Hudson's been through a lot this year, just with everything that's gone on. Where would you assess his confidence level and his headspace right now?
Well, I think his headspace and his confidence level have stayed consistent. He has been through a lot, whether it's the injury, whether it's just been the up and down. Obviously, more down than up, from a record standpoint and in a season standpoint. He's had 3 different play callers this year, and so none of that is easy from a quarterback perspective. And so, I think what stands out to me is how professional he is. He shows up every day, he puts the same work in that he was putting in early in the year, whether it's film, whether it's that film study, whether it's making sure he has a complete understanding of the game plan, his opponent prep. None of that has changed for him, and I think that speaks to his professionalism and how he's going about his business. And he's going to do the same for these last 2 weeks.
Jason, you've coached a lot of good running backs in your career, whether it's high school level, college level. How is Devin maybe different in the way that, with instincts and his way to kind of move his legs and things of that sort and just pick up yards that you don't think are there sometimes?
Well, I think what stands out for Mock is like his relentlessness as a runner. There are some guys that have pace and that have patience, and when Mock certainly has pace and patience, but like when you look at how relentless he is as a runner and what he puts his body through game in and game out, it's a testament to our strength staff, it's a testament to our training staff, and most importantly, it's a testament to Mock in terms of how he takes care of his body and how he prepares himself week in and week out to be able to go play that way. And his relentlessness on the field is a big part of his identity, and you watch what he puts himself through week in and week out, but every time he touches the football, his expectation is to go find a way to score, and whatever he has to put his body through to go score, that's what he's going to do, and that's what makes him special. He can do all the jobs that you want your running back to be able to do, whether it's pass protection, catching the ball out of the backfield, but his relentlessness is what stands out to me.
Is there an ideal way that you would like to use Maccabee and Reggie Love to share the workload? Or is it just kind of riding the hot hand, or see, whatever matchup may be on the table that week?
Well, I think so much of that, when you look at what Coach Connor does in our running back room, he does an outstanding job of making sure, like, his guys, one, they're ready to go week in and week out in terms of the game plan, but he has a really good feel for what situation, what circumstance, and when to use those guys. And a lot of that falls on him. You know, they're situationally on the call sheet where we're going to have specific plays for Reggie. We're going to have specific plays for Mock, and when we want to use those guys and how. But really, it's going to be a feel thing. Like, there are times where we're going to ride the hot hand, and if Mock's hot, we're going to ride him. But you also got to be smart. You know, those guys take a physical pounding. And, you know, if they get 2-3 carries in a row, you know, we have the luxury of going to Reggie. And, you know, and I think you saw Jaheim late in that game on Saturday have some success as well. And, you know, he's continuing to grow and get better. And so for us, you know, a lot of it's just going to be situational.